You know what's crazy? Not to cut you off. I actually went to the art institute and graduated, so I know exactly.
So you know,
oh man,
yeah, they ain't really give us a shot. You know what I'm saying? So, and I graduated too, thank God. But so I would turn in projects and do stuff, and my shit be one of the dopest in the class. I ain't saying I was the best, but my shit was lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, this was the first time a teacher actually was like, "Yo, this is actually pretty good. You might want to play with this a little bit more and develop it." So I'm like, "Damn, for real?" You're like, "Yes." I'm like, "All right, cool." That was the first time a teacher ever made me feel like
you accomplished it.
Yeah, so that kind of put a little battery in my back, and I was like, damn, all right. So I kind of just, this is back in like '01 or 2000, really, 2000. So off and on, I'm doing music, I'm DJing, but I always just kept coming up with these stories in my head with these damn roaches. Like it wouldn't go away. So every time I had an idea, I just write it down or I draw a little thing or whatever. So it just started building and building, and it just, I just got addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? I ended up building this whole world, and I found myself working on this more than anything. Mm-hmm. I wasn't practicing DJing. I didn't care about the new music. I wasn't rapping. I wasn't listening to beats. I was just drawing and writing. And I was like, damn, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. Then the Boondocks came out, and I was like, oh shit. Like, real niggas can have a real nigga cartoon for real, and it be on TV. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going extra hard. Like, I'm gonna be on Adult Swim. This is what I want. So I just never stopped, and it kept going and going. And then, I mean, I'm gonna be long-winded because it's a long story. I try to keep it short, but it got to the point where I won this competition in Miami. They had it's called Pitch to the Industry. So went to Miami, put my own money up. This is something I want to preach to everybody watching too. Everything I ever did, I always put my own money up.
Oh yeah.
Nobody never gave me shit. Not because they didn't want to. I never asked because I'm just not the type. Like, if somebody want to throw me something, cool. But I've always been independent. Like, I'm really from the school of like Master P and Dame Dash and these are the people that I look up to. Tyler Perry. Like, I'm about that. You know what I mean? So whatever I do to get my money, whatever I was doing, I put it into myself. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody, if you don't bet on yourself, how somebody else gonna bet on you? So I saw this competition, flew myself out to Miami. I auditioned. I won the auditions. I went out there and I did my pitch. And I'm pitching to it's like a person from Disney, a person from Warner Brothers, and another big person in the animation industry. And I fucked around and won with the Roach Motel pitch. It wasn't even called the Roach Motel back then. It was called Roommates. Because when I first started, I was like, oh, the Roaches is our roommates, and that's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah. So I won that. That made me say, like, damn, okay. And the people I was going against was fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was motherfuckers from overseas in that competition that flew from Europe to come. They cold. So I'm like, damn, I won. And my prize was to go to LA, meet with Disney, meet with two other companies. Titmouse, who was doing animation for Adult Swim's biggest shows at the time. So I'm hyped. So while I was going out there, I went on Twitter and I hit the program director for Adult Swim at the time. I'm like, yo, I won this competition. I'm gonna be in LA meeting. I'm throwing these names. I'm meeting with Disney. I'm meeting with such and such. Can I sit with y'all? So he's like, of course. He's like, yeah, shit, if you're doing all that, go out there. I ain't even give a fuck about them other meetings because I'm like, Disney not gonna take this shit. Right. The other one is they just talking to me because I won. But Adult Swim, I'm like, if they see this, I'm good. Go meet with Adult Swim. They fucking with it. They're like, okay, cool. We're gonna call you back and let you know. I'm like, all right. But everything happened for a reason. Dude called me back a couple weeks later. He like, yo, I set it up the chain. They said, it's not the good time for this. Maybe some other time. So I'm like, crushed, nigga, because I just knew they was gonna take it.
You feeling?
Yeah, I was hyped, and I was like, nigga, they gonna take this. It's undeniable. But at the time, when I look back at what I had then and what I have now, I wasn't ready. It wasn't as developed. I put a lot of time, money, and energy into it, but it just wasn't ready. And the other thing was, the guy was black. His name was Walt. Shout out to Walt, because he kept a G with me. And he didn't say it directly, but he implied so I could understand. He was like, it's a lot going on and it doesn't really fit the format right now. And I knew what he meant by that. Oh, cool. At the time, Boondocks was already on there and they had Black Dynamite. And at that time, I think it was only a 4-hour block. So they're not about to put a third black show on there. Like, come on. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? So after that, I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it on my own. So I learned this other software and I was able to start animating on my own. I didn't have to pay people to do it, and I just started putting it out just to see what was gonna happen. And once I got the reaction, I was like, damn, okay. people fuck with it like I fuck with it. So I just kept doing it.
Fucking exploded, bro.
Yeah.
And now you got a couple of extra guests.
Yeah.
You know, and
The bros.
and that shit is next level, bro. I was super like fucking proud after I said, oh shit. Now it's time. Like now it's about to get serious and niggas got to understand what the fuck 50 standing for. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, so you got the guys from the 85 South Show, which is what's his name? Carlos Miller, DC Young Fly, and
I got Chico Bean, and Clayton English.
and Clayton English.
All of them.
All
Yeah.
of them, the whole cast. The whole cast. So how did that come about? Like, did you guys already know each other, or did it just?
No, it's God, man. It's like this is just another testament. It's like what I believe. Like if you pray for stuff and you really just keep working hard, God gonna put you in positions. Like even my prayers be different. I be like, I pray for opportunities first, and then I pray like if God send me these opportunities, I pray that I'm able to maneuver and leverage them in the right way, so I don't waste them. Because I wasted opportunities back in the day. I was standoffish. We was talking about that on camera. Like I'm a cool ass nigga, but I'm not really a people person. People think I am, but I don't really like.
A lot of people think DJs just because we DJ, people.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk to everybody, bro. Like if it ain't about some money or some I can learn something from you or whatever, like I ain't, you know. So I learned to, you know, not waste opportunities. So it was just roundabout. Okay, so this how shit come full circle. I want to bring it back. So my man Big, who I was supposed to battle back in college.
Right.
His name is David Rush. Me and him became like best friends. So when I first did the first Roach Motel clip that we put out was the Roach Motel Cycle.
Yeah, I know that.
And I called him, me and him was rapping together. He's okay, I know I can rap my ass off, but this nigga's like a musical genius. Like he can sing, write, dance, like he's amazing. Look him up, David Rush. I plug my bro. So when we first did it, I was like, yo, I'm gonna play Ray, but I need you. He's talented, he can act and everything. I was like, I need you to play Roscoe and Rico. So Roscoe was a Puerto Rican roach, and Rico is from Atlanta. So, but I know he could do it. So we did it first. When we first did it, I'm like, oh nigga, this is crazy. So we did the cypher. We went crazy. We started putting them out. When we used to rap in a studio in Stone Mountain back in the day, it was a dude named Sounds, producer named Sounds. Look him up. He's crazy. He goes by BMW Kenny now, but he's got placements with Beyonce, Usher. He actually did one of my biggest records. One of my biggest records, Looking For You, was supposed to be an Usher record, but Sounds fuck with me so tough, he was like, I'm gonna let you fuck with this.
That's the one with the Lambo?
Yeah, with the Lambo, yeah. Okay. And if you look at it now, you're like,
I'm on point.
You are on point, my nigga, yeah. So Looking For You, that was supposed to be an Usher record. We actually recorded at Usher crib on a late night. We wasn't even supposed to be in there. You know what I'm saying? But we thugging it, we make it happen. But Sounds, so when we was recording with Sounds, it was a MC in there from Jersey named Bird. I kind of knew Bird, kind of like in passing, but him and Big was cool. So he's actually Lala Anthony's brother. So fast forward all these years later, we put out the first couple clips. Bird runs into a guy named Chad at a networking event out here. Chad is looking for animators. He's got a podcast. He's looking for animators. Bird doesn't know any animators, but he saw the Roach Motel from Big. Bird calls Big calls me, yo, call this number, dude looking for animators. Cool. Call Chad. Chad's like, can we meet? Cool. I don't know who Chad is. I don't know shit. Go meet at a diner, and it's Chad, Joe, and Kat. 3 black guys, young black guys, look like me, act like me. So we come to the meeting, and I'm like, man, these niggas is cool. So they talking about, well, we got this podcast called the 85 South Show. You heard of it? I'm like, nah. He like, well, look, it's DC Young Fly, Carlos Miller. I think it was just them 2 at the time, actually, in the trap house. So he's like, yo, they come up with all these characters on the fly. So it would be dope. We was thinking, can you animate some of these characters? We do them as little skits. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I can do that. That's dope. Cool. Can we see some of your work? I don't have shit but the Roach Motel because that's all I'm doing. So I show them the Roach Motel, and they like, nigga, you did this? I'm like, yeah. They're like, who else? I'm like, nah, it's just me. Like, nigga, you did all this. I'm like, yeah. So they kind of looking at me, and I'm looking at them. They're like, this shit hard. So the guy Joe is like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. And at this time, I don't really have no views like that. So I'm thinking to myself, like, you ain't seen this shit. And he's like, is this your character? And he pulls out his phone. On his phone, he has a picture of a sticker of Ray, my main character. Dragon Con was the weekend before, and I hired a street team. Day and the homies went around and put up stickers all over Dragon Con. Joe just happened to see the sticker, thought it was cool, took a picture of it.
Wow.
Fast forward, we had this meeting. This nigga got a picture of my character in his phone. That's guy, right? Like, you can't plan this shit.
Come on, man.
So, and I'm still not aware of what the 85 South show is. I'm just talking to them. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, nah, we gotta do something. So they're like, all right, cool. So they're like, how much does it cost for animation? Animation is expensive.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a lot of work, you know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to kill them. I even gave them a discount because I just wanted to work with them because I just respect. They young, they black, they putting their money up, same thing I stand for.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, I can do it for this. They're like, all right, cool, we'll figure it out. So Chad called me like 2 days later, like, listen, we can't really afford that shit, but we want to fuck with you. What do you think what if the guys just were characters on the cartoon and we kind of push it together? Now, in my head, after I left the meeting, I was already like, damn, what can I do to convince these niggas to get them to be roaches on my show? They have the same thoughts. So I ain't even have to ask them. They thinking the same thing as me.
It's the energy.
That's it, bro. It was just natural. So,
yeah.
Of course, I'm like, I'm being cool, right? On the inside, I'm like, fuck yeah. But on the phone, I'm like, yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be a good idea. You know what I mean? So he's like, come to the podcast, meet the guys. I'll go to the trap, and it's first person I met was Los. Los was there, and Clayton was there. DC wasn't there yet. And when I walked in is when I first did the Halloween episode, our first Halloween special. And I showed Los, and he's like, nigga, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm like, oh shit, all right. So they hype. And it's registering now, because at first I didn't know, I had never seen the podcast, so I didn't know who I was meeting. And I'm like, damn, why does this nigga look familiar? And I'm like, damn, this the dude from Wild 'N Out. I love this nigga, man. He funny as shit.
Yeah.
And he cool. So I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Okay, so I'm thinking it's just him and Clayton. They cool. Next time, Chad called me like, I want you to meet Fly. Come to the office. Come to the office. DC in there. This is way back. This is 2015. So this is still like very new. DC come in. Chad introduced me. DC is DC. So he cool. He started talking to me, whatever. And then I told him what we was doing. And he was like, I showed it to him. He's like, you know how he is. Oh, nigga, we gonna be roaches? Shit, nigga, I know roaches. Now I know I fuck with roaches. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So it was just like that. Like, the energy was good. It was all organic. And then first time we got in the studio and put one together, I'm like, nigga, this is lightning in a bottle. So they loved it like I loved it. So one thing I respect about them is they never asked me for no money or nothing. I would have gladly paid them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's worth it to me. But for them to even believe, it was priceless. You know what I'm saying? So every time I called them, to this day, like, they've grown and grown and grown, but as long as they're not busy, they show up for me. They never tell me no. The only time niggas ever told me no is if they just was not physically able to come. You know what I'm saying? So I just respect them for that. So yeah, man, I got a lot of respect for them dudes. The whole company, man, like, because they stand for the same thing I stand for. It's black owned, it's independent, it's put your money up, invest in yourself, flip it back, put it back into yourself, grow, fuck with your fans, be organic. So yeah, man, it was just
same. Yeah, for sure. Bro. And me and DC, you know, I did one of his, a few of it. I think his first few mixtapes and shit. So I was part of that situation.
That's dope.
They were archived. I have them.
You pulled them out, man.
Yeah, and it was, you know what I'm saying. And I was able to, you know, meet him and work with him while he was on the come up shit. You know, he was still just extra hungry. But to see what he had now, it's a blessing, man. I'm proud of DC.
Dog, it's inspiring because
it's inspiring.
It is. Like, even with them, when I was coming around, like I said, it was just a podcast. So to watch it grow to what it is now, and I seen the whole thing.
It's fucking huge.
But just how kind of like you was with me, like, you knew the Roach Motel was gonna be the shit when you first saw it. I knew they were gonna be this from day one. I'm like, these niggas is geniuses. I never seen nobody that talented, multi-talented group of niggas who kept it real with each other. You got it.
Don't happen.
No.
And then now I see, you know, you able to. You on stage and shit with you know, you're the DJ for the 85 South show.
Yeah, I'm a tour DJ.
Yeah, you fucking right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that shit, man, I'm so proud of you, bro. Like, because we both, you know, we came in as youngins, you know what I'm saying? We come into a situation and we just watched each other just grow and do different things that, you know, that people dream of doing. You know, people that dream of doing the shit we done did. You know
no, we blessed, bro. I don't take it for granted.
You know what I'm
I don't.
You know, I was fortunate, you know, to go across the world with Akon and all of this shit, and you've been, bro, we've been doing some shit.
That was crazy when you did that too.
Oh,
I'm like, this nigga Africa with 8 colors.
You know what I'm saying? We just been able to do this shit, and it's a blessing to live the way we live and do the things we love for a living.
Yeah.
You know? So, man.
That's the key to life, though, dog.
Oh yeah, man. If you do the things you love for a living, you never work in
Never
your
work.
life. You know, so and this don't feel like work. You know, even though we work.
No, we working asses
Working
off.
our ass out, but you know.
I'd rather be doing this than shoveling shit.
You feel me? So, what can we expect for like the future, man? What's some of your plans?
It's really just it's building this empire, right? So it started from like I look up to like Walt Disney and Ted Turner, like this is and Tyler Perry, like this is the blueprint I'm trying to follow. So it's about this IP, like this intellectual property that I built. It has to grow. So outside of the cartoon, we just started the Roach Motel merchandise company. So we got the glow in the dark Crocs, we got merch, we got ashtrays, we got the plush toys that just came out. So it's building this brand on the merch side, being a full merchandise company to where other people can actually come up under me and I can say, listen, man, you want to build your brand. If you need toys made, you need this made, they can come through me and my company can facilitate other people's brands too. As even with the clothing line, I'm the creative director at 85 South too. So I do their merch too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So from everything, from the beginning to the end of that. So it's more about just building this empire for the Roach Motel. And then the goal, honestly, is to do this independent film. Like, all of this has always been to do this movie. Because people are like, oh, why you ain't on Netflix? Why you, like, I don't want to go to that. Like, people don't understand. Like, the term is you're selling your show. I'm not selling shit. You know how much money and time I put into this? I'm not selling anything. So the goal is to get this bread up, do this independent film with 85. We do this Roach Motel movie. We put it out independently and then licenses out. We can license it to Netflix and Hulu, whoever else want to license it.
And that's exactly that's the shit.
Yeah.
Because it's your intellectual property.
Dog. Like my kids supposed to eat off this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it may be, people may look at it as a ghetto show, but nah, man, it's a full story that speaks to the culture, and this is something that can live forever. Like I can do a part 1 and part 2. Like I thought this through 10 years from now. Like what people are seeing is stuff that I was already thinking about 5 years ago. So when I'm able to really catch up, or when they're able to catch up with the content that I put out, then it's gonna go crazy. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for, bro. I'm looking like I want the Marvel universe of niggas and cartoons.
For sure, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you, Philip, man. We got to do this again, bro.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Bro, I'm so fucking happy you came through, bro. You don't understand, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming through, bro. I really appreciate this interview, bro, because you know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this shit for a minute.
Yeah, it's overdue.
We missed each other a couple times. We finally here, and we got it done, man. And I'm extra happy you came through. We got to do this again, like I said. And, man, bro, thank you, man.
My dog, man. It's love, man. Thank you. Shit.
So, what can they find you at?
You on the gram for music is DJ_Filthy Rich on everything. And for the Roach Motel is Roach Motel TV. And y'all can find me in the metaverse. I'm in the metaverse. So if you go on the Roach Motel metaverse.com, it's a link that'll take you right to my building in the metaverse. And it's I have a Roach Motel NFT museum in the metaverse dedicated to the Roach Motel, but each floor has a different thing. So if you walk in, my store is on the first floor. The second floor, you can watch all the episodes on the walls. You can walk around, click them. Third floor is my 85 South Show lounge. You can watch the 85 South Show. Fourth floor is my DJ Filthy Rich floor. We got mixtapes, we got music. I got the first 24-hour radio station in the metaverse that is registered with Media Base, so your spins count. So all you artists out there, if you want your shit in rotation in the metaverse, which touches the world. I just had some people in Japan in my building the other day. You want to touch the world, the Roach Motel metaverse.com. Futuristic, man. Fuck with your boy. I'm probably gonna release my movie in the metaverse, man. Fuck with me. You never know. You don't know what we gonna do.
Amen. That was dope. That was dope, bro. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, man.